What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I was just playing around with some numbers here, and I thought I would just share it with you for context in terms of what we could expect from this upcoming burn event, right? There's going to be the Great Purging, that Matt has talked about. Again, I'm calling it that, right? The Great Purging, similar to the Great Burning event that we had for DEC, but this will be for cards. So here's my thought process before I dive into any of the numbers, and the numbers are more so just going to be an example of where I think we would need to go, although it seems very, very little. If we were to do this, and Matt, the intriguing thing that Matt mentioned was the ability to create promo cards, right? So it would be worthwhile for everybody to participate. Maybe for every card you burn, you get entered into a raffle. But unlike before, when we got guild power, right, that at least was guaranteed. If there are promo cards here, then maybe for every X amount of cards you burn, you will be able to get a BCX. But here's the thing. We want to burn all cards. We don't want to burn just like one rarity. So it can't just be one promo card. It would have to be a lineup of different promo cards. And my guess is that we would see, and again, this is all just pure speculation thinking about it, but from a logical perspective, my guess is that we would see 4 promo cards across each rarity, right? So common, epic, rare, and legendary, not in that order, of course. And I think they would all need to be neutral just to make it fun, right? Just to make it kind of fair without kind of unbalancing the meta. So if we had 4 neutral cards, promo cards that came in, that could actually be pretty interesting. Now, the numbers that I want to get into, though, are just looking at the common cards, right? Because obviously those are the most egregious. There's so many of them. And if you just take a look here before I even dive into that, if we go to like the rewards cards, for example, and just look at common reward cards, can I click common there? There we go. You can go down here and you can see that there are still in existence 70 million BCX across all reward cards. Now, keep in mind that does include all of the older sets as well, but even with that, Chaos Legion, Chaos set is like more than 80% of all cards in existence. And you can see here, none of these older cards are above like 400,000, right? Whereas everything in Chaos Legion is 3 million or 7 million. That's how many there are in terms of the overall amount. And then if we actually go over to like Chaos Legion cards, because there's a lot of Chaos Legion cards out there, a lot of unopened packs, you can take a look and there's still 32 million Chaos Legion common cards. So what is that? 32 plus, let me go back here, 32 plus 70. I mean, we're looking at 100 million cards. So then the question becomes, okay, how many of these promo cards? And again, I'm just looking at common cards to use as an example. Not saying that they're the best or the worst, but obviously, they're the largest in quantity because of the rarity. So if we go here to promo cards, we can use 2 recent examples to get an idea of where things are at. Now you have Ruse, which has 355,000 printed, and you have Archimus the Bear, which has 800,000 printed. And just for context, if we go here to the prices, you can see Archimus the Bear is sitting at about 10 cents, and Ruse is sitting at about 40 cents per BCX. Now these are both, pretty solid cards. I have both of them up to, not maxed out, but up to level 7 or 8, so, in gold range. But here's the thing. Now this is where the numbers get a little disappointing. What would be the appropriate amount of BCX to burn to guarantee you 1 BCX of a common promo card? I'm thinking 10 at the max would, like anything more than 10 would start to feel a little uncomfortable, right? Now, granted, you can get all of these common cards for a penny, maybe even less per BCX if you go and buy it in bulk on the market or buy a card that's already leveled up. So, would 10 cents a BCX make sense? Like, would we want something similar to Ruse and therefore be willing to print 800,000? Well, let's say we go with Ruse. Not Ruse, Archimus the Bear. Let's say we go with Archimus as our template here, right? So it's going to be 10 BCX per 10 BCX per card, and we're going to print 800,000. Actually, it doesn't even matter what we print. If we go with 10 BCX, whatever amount we decide to print, you just multiply it by 10, right? So therefore, 800,000. If we were to print 800,000 Archimus the Bears or whatever this new common card would be, it would only burn 8 million, right? 8 million out of the 100 million that we just counted in terms of reward cards and Chaos Legion cards. Not to mention, there's still 2.7 million unopened Chaos packs. So I guess the point that I'm trying to get at here is, what numbers do you think are appropriate? Because that to me is not going to make much of a dent, right? And that's assuming everybody wants to print 800,000 copies of a new Archimus the Bearer type common card, right? Again, that's a lot, right? You can see here from the price, 10 cents, kind of like, 10 cents makes sense. And then if you were to do, 10 BCX at 10 cents, that would kind of line up. But if we want to do something more than that, maybe 15, maybe 20x, would people feel uncomfortable? Would people feel like that's too high of a price? I don't know. I mean, granted, maybe if the BCX were, maybe if the overall scarcity was lower, maybe we don't print 800,000, maybe you only print 400,000. Yeah, maybe that could get interesting. But I'm just throwing these numbers out there as an example. And again, I haven't gone through the other rarities. The commons are the ones that are obviously out there selling for pennies and probably have the least amount of value overall in terms of the meta. There's just so many of the hardy stonefishes, so many of the gargoyle lions and the Venari heatsmiths. Actually, gargoyle line I do use more often than not, but my point still stands, right? So I'm curious to know what your thoughts on this are, what you would like to see out of a burn event like this, and what you would be willing to pay per BCX in burned cards, right? So that's all I'm asking in terms of what your thoughts on this would be. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.